Calico fans, this is H German coming to you live from the greatest city in the world, New York City. And this is Sigma Comics, H German. We're going to talk about the absolute, hands down, best video game in the history of video games. And before I do that, ritualistic ceremony time. It is time for a Calico swig. Good stuff. As part of that ritual, I got to tell you about our comic book series. Here comes Calico, featuring the Calico, the baddest mofo in comics and manga. The Calico gets intel on people who abuse and kill animals. He goes after those assholes. Those assholes with extreme, and I mean extreme, justice. These comic books are available at your local comic book shop. If you don't see them, ask your comic book vendor. Say, hey, where's the Calico? Order me some Calico, and you'll see they're going to turn around and go right back to their office or whatever and make sure they whip out that previews catalog and order those issues for you so that very soon those Calico issues are in your local comic book shop and other people could learn about it too. Get them at your local comic book shop. Get this manga on Kickstarter, Kickstarter.com. Here comes Calico, 200-page manga tankobons each. You're looking at 400 pages of action of people getting their asses kicked, and not just people who abuse animals, at the hands of this man here, the Calico. All right, let's get to the topic. The greatest video game of all time, Diablo 2. Diablo 2, unequivocally the best video game of all time. Why? Very simple. The creators of that game devised a method of keeping you glued to the seat and keyboard and control stick, whatever you use to game Diablo 2. Wow, what a game. I've been a gamer. Not a hardcore one, but I certainly played many games from the beginning of the existence of game. I remember when I was a kid, I played Pong on the, well, I don't know even what it was because I was so young I didn't know what system it was. I just know that my parents were buying a video camera in Chinatown somewhere back in the late 70s. And while they did that, this was a Chinese family, by the way, the kids were in the living room, and one of them turned on the TV, and all of a sudden, they hit a button, and the whole TV turned blue. And things started happening. The kids started controlling a line on there. I said, holy crap, I've never seen anything like this. I was immersed. From that moment on, I've been a fan of video games. So why is Diablo 2 the best one? As I mentioned, they have created a method by which they keep you there playing the game, and it's some kind of process that they really unleashed on that game. And the process is, and it's so funny, as I'm telling you this actually happened to me. I don't even know if I think I might actually be the best case study to tell you why. As I'm telling you this story, okay, as I'm sharing this information with you, it's becoming clear to me that I actually might be the best person to tell you why this game is the best game. Like anyone else who had never encountered this kind of scenario with Diablo 2, I found myself playing the game, solving it. It wasn't easy. It was very, very difficult to solve the game. When I finally solved it, I was very ecstatic, but nothing happened. With every other video game that I've played, including Diablo 1, there's an ending. You see it, there's beautiful, motion graphics. Oh, wow. It says narration, all sorts of things are happening. Nothing happened with Diablo 2. I was like, what the hell is this? Is there something wrong with the game? So I actually contacted the company. I said, listen, I think you got a dummy copy here. There's some kind of problem here. I went on the internet forums, and I said, hey, I just solved Diablo 2, and I didn't get anything. Did anybody else see something like this happen? And they were very kind in the forum. In the forum, they said, no, it's actually supposed to do that. What you're supposed to do is it opens up a different level of difficulty. And for me, a level of difficulty is just a mode on the game. You want to play it on hard, easy, etc., etc. No, the difficulty setting is intrinsic. It's essential to the concept of the game in Diablo 2. Because when you do beat it on the, let's say, the easy or the first level, then you have the difficult level, whatever it's called, hard. I'm not sure what I know. One of the levels is called hell. That's what I remember, or nightmare, something like that. But it opens up many other things, and it opens you up to more drops, which are weapons and armaments and things that enhance the quality of your gaming in that world of Diablo 2, in that setting. So as you play the game again and again, but you're doing so in a very different with a very different experience, because now you're going through that forest with this awesome armor, and then the next one it might be a shield that does something, or it absorbs energy, and then you put it back, and wow, it was so compelling, and it felt like a different game every time, because that's the kind of impact the weaponry, the change in weaponry, the armaments, the specials, the spells. There's so many different components of drops that you get. And to clarify, for those of you in the audience that don't know what a drop is, this is what happens when you kill an opponent in the game, and they might be carrying some kind of loot, whether it's coin, whether it's a cloak that's very important, or a wand, whatever it is that they drop. That's called a drop. And you can, of course, pick that drop up and exchange it for money or for other things. I know this game, if I'm not mistaken, I think the game has a gem system. You can upgrade gems, but the big one that I do remember in this game, which is awesome, is the runes. Not only are you getting these weapons dropping, but you're getting them dropping with the capability of augmenting them. Because if you collect a certain amount of runes, or in a certain sort of connection, how they work, in a certain pattern, you can create new weapons, completely new weapons that are even more enhanced. And this is all dynamic. It just keeps happening over and over, and it's endless. You can have any number of new dynamic weaponry, and you're experiencing these levels with totally new weapons. And not just weapons, again, wands, clothing, armaments, all sorts of different things. Spells that you can cast that can take you to certain places, it's dynamic, and it's super compelling. And in that capacity, because it is that way, because it has that methodology, the game becomes repeatedly playable. You want to keep playing that game over and over and over and over. When I liked the game prior to Diablo 2, when I liked the game, when I loved the game, let me even take it a step further. When I loved the game, sure, I'd whip it out maybe once every few years and play it and be like, wow, relive that experience. And that's one of my favorite games. Well, with Diablo 2, I've solved that game, I maybe not hundreds of times, but, not far from that. And it's because you continue to want to upgrade and to get a better drop and to increase that experience level, etc. It keeps you continuously wanting to have that Diablo 2 experience with a new weapon, with a new cloak and cape, with a new helmet, with a new spell or wand or whatever it is that you want to experience again. You want to fight that boss with this kind of thing, or you want to fight that boss hoping that they drop this rune, because if you get that rune, wow, you'll get this weapon, and man, that weapon's going to beat the crap out of these, the people on this board or on this level, etc., etc. So it's just super, super, super fun. The game certainly was not like that prior to Diablo 2, and it certainly well, I was going to say it hasn't been like that since, but from what I've read, because I haven't played Diablo 3, but I've seen many videos of Diablo 3, and frankly, I've not seen anything that I find compelling, and certainly not with Diablo 2. Diablo 4 is out now, is my understanding. I've seen videos, these video ads on Facebook. They keep popping up, Diablo 4. I've read an article or two about the game, so I really can't comment intelligently without getting more in depth into the content that's been put out on it. Top of the fact that it's brand new, so there's not really going to be that much out there. Or if there is, it's more kind of promotional stuff. You really sort of need a few months for sort of the hardcore, Diablo 2 gamers to get in and share their experiences. And frankly, because that game is so good, Diablo 2, in my opinion, the best, I do respect. I want to hear what the Diablo 2 audience, the Diablo fan base is sort of fractured, right? There's a lot of different Diablo fans. I want to hear from the Diablo 2 fans. Those are the ones I want to hear from, okay? If they accept Diablo 4 as being a good version of the game, then I certainly will start investigating Diablo 2 to maybe have. But listen, of the hundreds of games that I played over the years, if there's one game that stands out far and above from every other video game that I have ever played when I press a button on a machine, Diablo 2 is the #1 video game. I've solved it countless times, and I would have continued. Listen, the only reason I stopped playing Diablo 2, this is a real story, a true story, as are all the stories, of course, I share. But it's just incredible. That's why I say it's a true story, because it's really incredible to believe. The only reason I stopped playing that game is because I became super busy with our new comic book series, Here Comes Calico. And, it occurred to me that I could be getting a lot more done. And I started feeling, frankly, some pain in my lower legs. I was sitting down too much and playing the damn game. And if those of you who know about me, I'm a former pro athlete. So health, fitness and health is very important to me. So I'm very sensitive to inaction. I always want to be doing some exercise, being mobile out there. And I was playing Diablo 2 so much that I couldn't get up off that chair. It's that good, folks. It really is. Once you get into the story and you start collecting these weapons and you get to the level where you're doing the runes, wow, that game is absolutely awesome. It has a great soundtrack. It's got wonderful special effects. The responsiveness of the control is very, very good. The graphics, of course, excellent. And it really is very moody, as the Diablo series had been, I guess, up until the third installment. But anyway, that's my take on the very best video game of all time, Diablo 2. Thank you. I think it was Blizzard that created that one. Thank you, Blizzard team, whichever one that created it. Because I do know there's Blizzard North and Blizzard and a few factions. But in any event, thank you for listening to the video. For all you gamers out there, I hope you enjoyed this one. This one here is ours, and this is the Calico. This is our content, and this is the Ultimate Defender of Animals. Get it at your local comic book shop. Don't delay. Sigma Comics. We got the manga too. You can get those on Kickstarter or on the website. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Keep on fighting for animals.